It's time to get all your Star Wars news in a single file. From Fantatrax TV, this is Good Morning Tatooine!
Good morning, Tatooine. It's been another full week of Star Wars news, so we are back once again to cover it live over the next hour. Everything that's happened in the Star Wars galaxy this week. So what have we got in store tonight? Let's check it out. First up, Star Wars Celebration Europe is on the horizon. 5 more guests have been announced. We'll be looking at them. Couple of events around Celebration. Return of the Bash have announced their DJs, and Bib's Bash from Star Wars Sessions After Party has also been announced. We'll be checking that out. Hasbro have revealed some of their Celebration exclusives and a few other bits and pieces. Deuno Novo have announced the Jango Fett jetpack kit, which I know a number of people have been looking out for. Funko Fair 2023 has shown off the Return of the Jedi 4th anniversary releases. Tales from Galaxy's Edge is coming to PlayStation VR2. We'll be checking out that trailer. We'll also be looking at ILM's breakdown reel from announcement, the Star Wars Andor Episode 7, I think it was. And the Mandalorian Season 3's key art and a little featurette has arrived, and we're less than 30 days now away from the premiere. We'll be checking that out. And to wrap up the show, the big announcement of the week, Star Wars Vision Season 2 lands May the 4th. I was going to say the Disney scam day for making you spend all your money needlessly all in one day. But to discuss that and much, much more from Fantatrax.com, my guest this week, Mr. Paul Naylor. How are you, Paul?
Greetings, Brian. Greetings.
Lots of news to cover this week. So
Yeah.
I reckon we should probably get stuck straight into it.
Yeah, the last time I was on, there was not a lot. So this
there
is
wasn't
crazy.
a lot of news, but we still dragged it out. We still dragged out an
We
hour.
did.
But
We did.
there's lots this week, so let's not mess about and get stuck in.
Let's go for it.
Star Wars Celebration, we're just, 2 months away. 5 more guests announced this week. Mads Mikkelsen, Katie Sackhoff, James Arnold Taylor, Hayden Christensen, Dennis Lawson with 2 N's there, it should be 1. So the photo ops were opened up as well from Epic, and autographs from official pics as well, which are also offering a pre-order and send-in service. Let's talk about the guest announcements to start with before we get into photographs and autographs, because that could be controversial. But,
Oh, it will be.
a nice array of guests there, I think.
Yeah. People from across the different properties of Star Wars, shall we say? Yeah, it's a good mix.
Yep. Kate Sackhoff, obviously Bo-Katan, who's going to be featuring heavily in Season 3 of Mandalorian.
Yeah. Can't wait for that one. Not long now, March the 1st.
Mads Mikkelsen, Galen Erso in Rogue One, but also going to be in the upcoming Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny.
Yeah. Is he a bad guy in that?
He's a Nazi, so...
Oh, they get such bad press, don't they?
They haven't confirmed that he's a bad guy, but they've confirmed that he's a Nazi, so...
Maybe he's a good Nazi.
You never know. I think, actually, we laugh, but actually the whole premise of the film is the former Nazis coming over to America and being part of the science program, and can they be trusted and can they not? So I imagine there's going to be good and bad Nazis in it. So there you go. Controversial. James Arnold Taylor, the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi, much loved animation voice actor. Hayden Christensen, of course, Anakin Skywalker, who's going to be in the upcoming Ahsoka and has just finished Obi-Wan Kenobi series as well. And Dennis Lawson from my part of the world, Wedge Antilles, who's only recently started doing these events as well.
Yeah, he had. Yeah.
So
I met Dennis. Sorry, go on.
So I was going to say a nice mix, I guess, for fans of TV shows, animation, film.
But it's nice to see. I mean, we're hoping that obviously with it being the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, that we're going to get some of the heritage actors, shall we say, those from the original trilogy. And of course, Dennis played Wedge through episodes 4, 5, and 6. I did actually meet him early,
Did you know
midway through
he was
last
in
year.
9 as well?
Oh yes, of course, yeah.
One of
Blink
your
and you miss
favourite
him.
films.
Yeah, I actually spoke to him about that because I met him in Edinburgh last year and questioned why he was in it so little. And he said that he was, I think he was directing some show at the time, a theatre show. And he said, to be honest, he says, I didn't even think I was going to get there in time to record anything. He says, so I was glad to do what I did. But yeah, he's a really nice guy. But yeah, he's somebody that you should definitely go and see while you can. Shall we say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, along with this guest announcements, the photograph and autograph prices began to get revealed for the announcements so far. So this week's guest and last week's, all the pricing went up, and it caused quite a lot of controversy online because the prices were incredibly high. I think it's fair to say.
They've always been high though, haven't they? At
Yeah,
Celebration, certainly the last few that I've been to, the prices are noticeably higher than what you would get if you were to see the same person at a different show. Um, Celebration tax, as we lovingly refer to it, but it seems to be Celebration super tax now, so it's gone through the roof.
yeah,
Um, yeah, particularly, I mean, Little Leia.
yeah,
I forget the name of the young lady name. um, Lyra Vivian Lyra Blair.
yeah,
So saw her over in Telford a few months ago, not long ago at all. And I think her autograph was either £30 or £35, and at Celebration it's 75. Some of the more interesting little things that have come up as well is if you want a quote put in on your autograph, there's an additional charge for that as well.
yeah,
So there's the initial sort of shaking of the piggy bank, and then if you want the quote on it, you've got to go down the back of the sofa and see if you can find a few quid there as well.
yeah.
It is
A price.
pretty.
I think I saw someone do a breakdown online, and I think they worked out that prices were, for some guests, 150% higher on average. And I think there is one crucial comparison when people are comparing it to prices paid in America. Is America will list a price before sales tax. In the UK, the price is listed with sales tax.
Yeah,
And UK, like much of Europe, we're 20% in the UK. Much of Europe is round about the same. And I know America's probably averages somewhere closer to 7%, so the tax element of it is a significant part.
yeah.
But even equating for the tax difference, exchange rate difference, and so on, the prices are gone much, much higher. I think I worked out of sheer curiosity, I did a send in for Hayden Christensen. I added on to have it signature approved and certificated, personalised with a quote, and all the added features, and I think it came to something like £600.
What?
Yeah, yep.
When was this?
Yeah, if you add all the extras on offer.
And you did that?
No, I did it. I added it to the basket and then deleted the basket. I just wanted to see what it would come out at. Yeah, so
you went to empty the basket and you hit the click to buy it now by mistake.
But
Wow.
that just shows you the extreme it is. And there doesn't seem to be much difference now between the autographs and the photographs as well.
No.
It's become a big thing, the photographs.
There's been a lot of questions as well. I don't know if you're in any of the Celebration Facebook groups where there seems to be a lot of people that are going to Celebration who haven't attended it before, and they're asking some questions that to seasoned veterans like ourselves go, duh. But you can, if you've not been before, you can understand them asking questions. And people are saying, well, if I'm having an autograph, and they're probably thinking, well, if I'm spending 210, 220 quid, careful, I'm having, nope, nope, you can't do that.
But
Well,
as Jack's saying here in the comments, he's going to sneak some phone pictures as well. I don't blame him. But I think the very first Celebration in London, I think I did. I got Mark Hamill's signature, and and got a photograph with him as well at the signing as well. Just a quick 2
Yeah.
second thing, and no charge for the
Yeah.
photograph. Autograph was probably 110, 120, something like that, I think it was.
Well, I believe
And
Mark's got he's got some quite strong feelings on that, hasn't he?
yeah,
He believes in giving that bit extra back to the fans. So fair play to him.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that a lot of people's first celebrations is going to be Jack's as well. And so there's going to be huge elements where people are going to be experiencing things for the first time.
Yeah.
I don't think the way that it's getting presented is the most informative. A lot, as you say, in a lot of the forums, people are asking questions where, if you've been many times, you think that's a crazy question to be asking, but you can totally understand it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's going to upset a lot of people, I think, when they get there, that the unavailability of people to get photographs and autographs, and
Yeah,
the whole
definitely.
pre-order system. It's not very well explained on the official site, how to order
Well,
your autographs and
so
pictures, I don't think.
so for the likes of Jack and anybody else who's not been before, in the old days, sort of about 3 or 4 celebrations back, you would queue overnight if you wanted to go and see something. Now there's the lottery system, so attached to your ticket, you are put into a draw, and you will be informed close to the event, probably only a matter of days before it, what panels, and panels basically are talks by the stars, or they might be the showing of a new trailer for something else that's coming out. You will get notification a few days beforehand, and unless you're willing to hang around in a sort of extra queue where they might let a few more people in, for the most part, if you haven't won the lottery for that panel, you're not getting in.
Yeah.
It swings and roundabouts as to whether that's a fairer system, because in the old days, some people who got young kids couldn't queue all night, and so it was favouring the same old people all the time. So I suppose by doing it this way, everybody's got equal chance of getting in, but also you got equal chance of not getting in.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's pros and
It's
cons for
always
both.
very difficult, I think, when you've paid a lot of
Yeah.
money to attend the show and then you can't get to the main features of the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jack's
But-
here as well, making a point. I think it's quite a good one. If someone like Mark Hamill, who's they're unlikely to meet somewhere else, is going to appear, people are more likely willing to pay, and that's kind of my attitude as well. I think that
Yeah.
you look at the guest list and you think, well, those guys are going to appear at other shows.
Yeah.
It's I'm more inclined to say, well, I'll see them at other shows. I'm not going to get them to sign anything or do a photograph here because it's so incredibly expensive compared to what I know they'll charge.
I think
elsewhere.
the best thing to do is like you and Jack have said, is keep an eye out on where these stars are also appearing. Put it this way: when you and I were over in California, April, May last year, whenever it was, Ewan McGregor was there, and I think his autograph worked out at about £300. When I saw him in Edinburgh, it was roughly half that price.
Yep.
And if anything, you had slightly better access. In America, it was he'd look at you, smile, sign, next. It was a conveyor belt. It wasn't quite as bad in Edinburgh. You did actually get a chance to briefly engage with him and say a couple of things, and he'd have a chat back with you very briefly. Might be a sentence, if that, but at least there was a bit of communication. So I don't know. Celebration is great, but talking to Mark Newbold the other day from Fanta Tracks, and what he looks forward to, and I suppose increasingly you and I do too, Brian. It's actually hooking up with people we've not seen for a long time, particularly if we've got friends coming from overseas. And do try to go along to the events that are happening outside of Celebration. So some of the things that are going on in the evenings, which I know we're talking about in a bit.
Yeah. Jack asking a question there as well that he's taking his lad at 12. Are they going to ask for ID for the child? I don't think they do. I think if you've bought your ticket, you've got your pass. I think it's pretty much an honesty system from them. I think if your lad looks like a 21-year-old rugby player, then they might ask for some kind of ID. But other than that, you should be okay.
Jack, get your lad to have a shave before you go.
Yeah, So as you said, the big thing for Celebration is often the events round about it, and there is a couple of events we've got to speak about this week. First up, Return of the Bash, an event run by 501st Legion, along with our good friends at Jedi News.
Yeah.
They've announced a couple of DJs that are going to be at their event, which is going to be Level Up Leroy and DJ Elliot, who of course will probably be doing the main stage DJing as well at Celebration, I would imagine.
They will definitely be involved somewhere in the show, in the proceedings. Yeah.
I think tickets to that event will be just for the 501st and Jedi News team. I think sometimes they open it up to the public late on if there's still tickets available.
Yeah, I think I might be wrong, but I think that one's sold out, Brian.
Yeah, I could well be right.
Yeah.
There is also an event that on sale just now from our friends over at the Star Wars Sessions podcast on the Saturday night. Bibs Bash, if you want to go to that, it's on the Saturday evening. I'm not going to be there because I'm going to be on the barge Celebration barge boat party.
I'm on that.
That's there that night, but guys from Star Wars Sessions always put on a great podcast, and I imagine they're going to put on a great bash as well, so tickets are available for that as well.
Yeah, I'm on the barge with you, Brian, but that looks a good thing as well. Bibs Bash, like you say, they won't skimp on their show. It'll be a good show.
Yeah. So that's two of the events going on round about Celebration. I think I'm going to the Boot Eve on the Thursday, and I'm doing the sail barge on the Saturday night, and taking Friday and Sunday night off. And you'll probably find me in bars somewhere.
Well, I've got some tickets booked for the Fox, which is apparently some Star Wars-y bar.
The Fox
is
the nearest bar to Celebration. Just as you cross the bridge to the DLR.
Ah, right, okay. And obviously there's Star Wars Cantina on the Sunday night. Now, if Jack and his lad are about for that, I think that the minimum age is 14. Yeah. But if by then, if Jack's lad can sort of grow a moustache during Celebration, I'm sure nobody would question you if he wants to go to that. But Cantina is a really good night of Star Wars related music. So DJ Elliot and Level Up Leroy are both featured there as well. Yep. So they're busy over the duration of Star Wars Celebration. But it's your last chance to see Darth Elvis live as well. Our dear friend Greg from Fanta Tracks. Ash are headlining the band from Northern Ireland who've got loads of connections to Star Wars. That should be a really good night.
Jack's got his tickets, VIP King Row. So he'll be able to go to the Fanta Tracks after party. There's a Fanta Tracks after party as well. At the bare minimum, you can get the goodie bag.
Good man. Well, I'll see you there, Jack, because I'll be VIP in it as well. So see you there.
And if people are wanting tickets to Cantina, if they go to fanthatracks.com, there's now a banner on the main page and on the sidebar where you can just click that banner and you'll get take you to the page for buying tickets for Cantina too.
Yeah, because Fanta are now associated with Cantina. Are we linked to the after party?
Sponsoring the after party.
Yeah.
Mark Newbold is buying everyone a drink.
I heard it was 2.
Marcus as well in the comments. He's got a celebration going to be his first, and he's taking his kid as well. It seems to be there's an awful lot of people that's going to be their first Star Wars celebration. Which is a good thing as well, I think.
It is. I'll tell you what, guys, if it is your first one, come over and see us on the Fanta Tracks booth. And if we can help you in any way, shape or form, if you need any help, we'll do our best to help you out.
Yep. I don't know if we can announce that where our booth is going to be But it'll be in
No.
a very prominent place, and we'll be announcing it on the show and on the website before.
Yeah.
And we'll be involved heavily with the podcast stage as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to have a show there for Good Morning Tatooine on. It's not the podcast stage anymore. What's it called? The Holonet news stage, I think. Paul, you're doing your show as well.
Yeah. Start Your Engines will be
Start
there.
Your Engines
Yeah.
there. I forgot the name. There you go. There's the logo.
There I am. Yeah. So I believe we're doing a show based on the shuttle Tidarium from Return of the Jedi.
Okay. Jack's part of the UKG as well. So we'll be close to them.
Yeah. You won't have far to go, Jack.
But yeah, well, it's all about meeting people. We always want to meet people that are reading our content as well. It's always good to get feedback and meet the guys, because like this show, the comments you guys give, it's all part of the show, and it's what makes the show what it is.
Absolutely.
So it'd be great to meet you and get some Fat Track swag, which we're working on at the moment. We're working on it. We're going to have something. Not quite sure yet what, but we'll have some things.
We'll fancy something out.
Yeah. Continuing the celebration theme, we've got Hasbro had some reveals this week, and revealed some of the stuff that they're going to have at Star Wars Celebration. We can have a check out some of their products.
That's nice. That is nice.
First up, Scout Trooper Premium Electronic Helmet, $131.99, coming summer 2023. No batteries included in this one. But yeah, looks lovely. This helmet range is pretty impressive. I think it's one of the better things that Hasbro are doing at the moment.
Yeah. I love the way that one opens up as well. It's got that where it flips forward, basically, doesn't it? The front part of the mount. Yeah, it's brilliant.
We've also got in the retro collection, coming in the spring, the Mandalorian prototype. I'm not a big fan of these things, to be honest.
The good old Crayola range. Yeah, unfortunately, Brian, I've got a few of these.
Yeah. This one's going to be a Target exclusive. But it'll find its way to some discount retailer in the UK, sure.
There'll be 4 or 5 different places you can get it from in the UK. Yeah.
Yep. What else have we got? We've got Phase 2 Clone Trooper multi-pack. That's not the multi-pack.
That's not it.
Well, the photo doesn't match the description. Put it like that. But yeah, who is that? It is Clone Trooper Phase 2 armor, whatever, from Star Wars Andor. Yeah, you'll find the details on fathertracks.com because I can't copy and paste clearly. You've got Darth Vader from Revenge of the Jedi. It's going to be available at Star Wars Celebration, and next Star Wars Celebration exclusive, $33.99. Not a UK price, even though you're going to have to buy it in sterling, which seemed odd.
Yeah, I mean that is it's another one of these repaints, isn't it? But this is quite nice, actually. I quite like what they've done with it. So this is based on the original Revenge of the Jedi poster, which then swiftly became Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
But I quite like what they've done.
Mark is just there asking what the UKG is. Sorry, the UKG is the UK garrison of the 501st Legion.
Yeah.
So basically, all the guys dressed up as Imperials. So if you look for their booth.
Yeah. As Phantom, we're friends with the bad guys and the good guys, aren't we? So
we like anybody.
we're like the mediators. Yeah.
And what else we got? We've got coming up in spring 2024. So a long way out. The Black Series Kiari Monday.
Always makes me want a bag of knickknacks.
It does. I've got something. I really don't like his eyes on the character, and he's got really fat fingers like King Charles. But other than that, It needs a bit of work before it comes out, put it like that.
Yeah.
If you can't make it to Celebration and you can't pick up the Darth Vader exclusive from Celebration coming in the summer, $16.99 as part of the Vintage Collection. You've got Death Star 2 Darth Vader.
Shakespeare edition. Alas,
Yep.
poor Yorick. Yeah.
It's going to be available from Hasbro Pulse and most major retailers. Also in the Vintage Collection is Han Solo, $16.99, available in the summer.
This one's a real cop out, isn't it? I mean, basically, there's the same one has been released as an Endor Han with a coat. So if you take the coat off, you've got this one. Oh dear.
A Weequay. Everybody needs a Weequay.
That's nice. Very reminiscent of the very reminiscent of the old house. Well, the old Kenner and Palatoy one.
Yeah. And appropriate because it's the 40th anniversary of Return of the
Jedi. Yeah.
Captain Hauser.
Yeah, that's nice.
And,
I like that.
Available in the summer, $16.99. Hasbro Pulse and all the retailers again. And this one is the previously described group of troopers. And if you read the description on this one, it's a description that should have been with the previous trooper.
That's right.
So I just got that around the wrong way. They're all clones. They all look the same. This troopers look fantastic, I think.
They are.
But the problem is, if you walk into a store and you don't know what they're going to look like, the packaging's so horrible now, and it's just like it's not going to make you want to pick it up.
These are the black and white sort of white boxes with a little hint of colour on it, aren't they? Yeah. I mean, with their helmets off, there's a picture of them with the helmets off, and I think the main one, the boss man, if you like, he's got a shaved head, and the other three look more sort of standard. But yeah, it's a nice package, that is.
Yeah. Next up, Admiral Piet. Again, coming in the summer.
That's really nice. Yeah, that is nice. Yeah.
And also the Vintage Collection. You've got Star Killer coming in the spring as well.
Yeah.
And that'll be very popular because he's a very popular character from the Force Unleashed games.
When that action figure came out last, that's become highly desirable. So yeah, that will go down a treat. And this is
Rebel
this
Trooper
is
from Andor, also known as Rex.
But they've done the same with this one as they did with the Hoth Rebel Soldier, whereby you've got two faces. So you've got a younger looking unshaved Rebel Trooper that you can swap the face out with that one.
Yeah. What kind of army lets their members have beards?
A very open-minded army.
You think?
A rebellion.
They also allow facial tattoos. Clone Commander Jesse.
Yeah, that is really, really cool.
Yeah, that's a really nice one.
Yeah.
Even the outfit on that looks really well done as well.
It does, yeah. I mean, I've kind of dipped out of Black Series a bit, but I'm kind of wanting that one. Please bring back the windows to the boxes. Please bring them back.
That's going to be part of Walmart's Collector Con and on shelf in the summer. I'm presuming it's going to be a Walmart exclusive if it's part of Walmart Collector Con.
Possibly, yeah. But again, we'll probably be able to get it from about 5 or 6 different outlets out here. So.
Yeah. So if you had to pick one from all that?
If I had to pick one, probably that last figure, that Jesse.
Trooper Jesse, yeah.
Yeah.
So I would go for the pack.
Would you?
Feel like you're getting value for money.
Yeah. It's one of those things that I've not got any of those. I just know if I started, I'd want them all. So I'd have that figuring down, and before you know it, you've got the Rebel Troopers, and no, step away. But there are some good products out there.
Jack's going for the Vader exclusive. I think a lot of people will go for that. It's a nice figure.
But the Revenge of the Jedi one, the black red one. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That is nice.
there's a nice pick. Carrying on the product theme, up next in the news, Deuno Novo are going to be releasing the Boba Fett, Jango Fett jetpack kit,
Nice.
which I know a lot of people have been waiting for a very long time for this, because a lot of people had orders from the previous company that had this license, and obviously they went under. Deuno Novo took over the license, and as part of that, agreed to fulfill orders from the previous company. So I know I had comments on our YouTube channel this week asking about this jetpack kit and when it would be coming. So now we know it's going to be coming April to June of this year. So you will be getting your hands on that if you had a pre-order from many moons ago.
Well, they're bound to be at Celebration as well, aren't they? So you'll get your first opportunity to see that there, I think.
Yeah, I would hope so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's nice.
Continuing the product news, Funko Fair 2023 Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary releases. Can't go anywhere without encountering a Funko nowadays.
No.
And they've got a whole range there for Return of the Jedi. Many of them going to be Target exclusives, and we'll have to wait and find out where they're going to be here. And but yeah, it's good to see Return of the Jedi being celebrated for its 40th anniversary. I would like to see a whole load of products, hopefully, at Star Wars Celebration related to the film.
Yeah, I mean the key artwork for it is very Return of the Jedi orientated. It's the second Death Star, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that film gets the love it deserves, because there's a lot of great new stuff coming out, but it's all on TV, and it's nice to celebrate the third and final of what we thought was going to be the only trilogy we were going to get for a long time.
Yeah.
Because we're old and we remember. But that's good.
The two Funkos there on the left, the Luke and Chewbacca, are the first two of what are going to be 6 getting announced. All the Funkos connect together to make the skiff. And will you take them out of the box to connect them? That's the thing.
Well, I think for that one you would. I mean, I think serious collectors, if they want to keep it in the box, they'll buy the 2 of each, won't they? But it's not as cheap as it once was collecting Star Wars stuff, as you and I both know.
Everything's now a premium. Everything.
Yeah.
Cost of living crisis.
Oh yeah.
Definitely applies to merchandise as well. Coming up on the product cycle, still going, we've got Tales from Galaxy's Edge is going to be coming to PlayStation VR2 as an enhanced edition, alongside the VR2 headset release. If you are on PlayStation 5, I've got it for PlayStation 4. I haven't gone as far as to invest in a PlayStation 5 because I don't play it often enough to justify it.
No, I haven't got anything.
So you can download it from February 22nd, or you can get a physical version from April 7th. I never looked up the price of this. I should have, because I was amazed at the price of games for PlayStation now. It could be like 90 quid, I think you are, for Jedi Survivor that's coming out very shortly. This is a trailer that goes with it. It's a fun game. I'm not completely bought into the whole VR thing as yet. It feels like it's an experimental tool still.
My partner's brother brought is it an Oculus? Brought that round the other year, and it is impressive. But like you, I think I'd rather wait and see where it goes in the next couple of years before I bother investing in it. Galaxy's Edge. Have you been to Disney and to Galaxy's Edge?
I haven't. No.
No. See, now I have, and I find this quite interesting. But I would imagine if I hadn't been to Galaxy's Edge, I'd think, nah, so what? But I think it's one of those things that you need to have that point of view from it. You know what I mean? You've
Yeah.
been there, so you think, look, there's Twin Spires and all that, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Now, I did
yeah,
do Celebration last year, so I never got a chance to go last year, and obviously lockdown hit as well, and
yeah,
it's not been the easiest journey to make, I think, in recent years since the park opened. They've had a real run of it.
yeah.
Definitely never going to do the hotel, because
No,
never in a
no,
million years could I justify spending the kind of money they want for that.
no,
But judging by, if you look at the bookings, not a lot of people are spending that money either. Though those
no.
that do praise it. So
I mean,
if you can justify spending that kind of money on that kind of experience,
I
it
don't
seems to
think.
be worth it.
Yeah, I don't think it's something where you would want to fork out £6,000 if you were the only person forking out the money. If I was going as a group of four, could I justify £1,500? Probably not. Um, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know. Never say never,
never
but
say never.
at the moment, it's a no.
I'm not a big fan of Disney parks, um, purely because, and it sounds stupid, but purely because it's too sugar coated
Yeah,
when
yeah.
it starts to grate on me, and it's like I kind of want to do the Star Wars park, but I could also feel it could really annoy me.
Well, one of the first celebrations I went to with you, Brian, we went to some of the parks in Florida,
Yeah.
and yeah, I could tell you weren't exactly loving it. But no, I'm like you. I don't really like this over sanitized version that we're getting. But yeah, it is what it is.
That's what it is. The
Mm.
experience is supposed to be good. Um, it's
Yeah,
not. I don't think it's what it kind of was originally pitched as being a completely immersive experience. It is still just a theme park themed around Star Wars, really, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. I enjoyed Galaxy's Edge. We were very fortunate. Mark Newbold, myself, we went in with Elliot and one of his co-hosts, Nick Hahn. And yeah, we had a great time. The Rise of the Resistance is probably as good, if not better, than Smuggler's Run. That's really immersive stuff. But yeah, if ever you do get a chance to do Galaxy's Edge, I think you would enjoy it, mate. I think
Yeah.
you would. Um,
I'm more of
but I'm
the
like you.
Jaws ride, but they took the Jaws ride away from Universal. That was my thing. I loved that.
That's old
because
school.
because you could make that immersive for everybody else on the boat by just sitting at the back and screaming, and like would completely freak other people out on the ride. I enjoyed that.
We'll throw some fake blood around,
Throw some fake blood okay. Just like have a fake arm and throw that at the front of the boat, and
or a bucket of fish guts. You throw at everybody.
yeah,
Jump on
that's
this.
more my kind of thing, where you can traumatize people and leave them scarred for life.
Oh dear,
Yeah,
what you like?
something that never left me scarred for life. Andor, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
And
loved
see
it.
that
Loved
segue,
it.
that was slick.
That was
Um,
brilliant.
ILM have released their latest breakdown VFX for the episode announcement, which was the one at the beach resort. You kind of got an idea of what it went into creating the special effects on that, and you've got your Imperial droid, your K2SO type droid in this scene. You see the guy there on the stilts.
And
Doing that.
that was all filmed not far from Blackpool, wasn't it?
Yeah, just along the road from Blackpool.
Yeah. Yeah. Is this
Uh,
available now?
so this is up on YouTube. This is the ILM breakdown of the
Right.
7th episode, and so just showing you kind of behind the scenes of what's involved and
Yeah.
creating the episodes. So just a little short fun reel there that gives you an idea as to what went into some of the effects in that episode. And it wasn't a hugely effects heavy series. Andor, it was a lot
No.
of on location practical elements.
Yeah, it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant show. Um, yeah, I'm hoping that Celebration will do something similar with Andor that they did with the Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett over in the States, whereby because Andor season 2 is filming around the same time as Celebration,
Yeah.
so I'm hoping to bring a
Well,
load of props
yeah,
along and do like a museum event.
they're filming Andor just now.
Yeah,
Um, and my understanding of it is that they're not filming it in sequence, so they're not filming it episode by episode. So they've been filming a lot of the same actors, doing a lot of the same things. So let's just say they were focused on the Imperials and getting all the Imperial stuff done.
yeah,
I believe Diego Luna, just as he's finished the sort of promotional tour for the Last of Us, is now come over and he's just starting filming his stuff. So I think they'll still be filming through Celebration. So yeah, there's a good chance a lot of them will be a part of that.
yeah. That's Pedro Pascal in The Last of Us, isn't it?
Did I
Yeah.
say what films?
Yeah.
What's Diego just finished filming? He's got
Well,
something out.
Diego must be doing something. Of course he is. He's a busy man. Yeah, he'll be doing
I need to
something.
look up what he's.
Yeah.
I need to look up now what he's doing because that's going to annoy me otherwise. He's just finished filming something.
It's probably in some Marvel thing.
Oh, I've got no idea.
No.
Ignore me. Ignore me. But yeah, he's definitely just wrapped up, finished something. He wasn't available at the same time as some of the other actors.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's doing plenty of other stuff, but no, I'm hoping that we do get that
Yeah.
because that's
Jack's called
that.
it right. I've been on the death sticks again. I haven't checked out The Last of Us yet. Yeah, so I thought that was
It's
actually
really
awesome.
good. Yeah.
He's doing
Did
something else.
did you ever watch the Walking Dead?
Yes.
Yeah, it was like some of the earlier seasons of The Walking Dead when it was good. Um, but no, it is enjoyable. There was a very different episode came out last week that was very highly praised, and it was a really good episode. Yeah.
Okay. He was
Yeah.
doing a play in Madrid.
Ah, well, there you go.
There you go. I'm not going to try and pronounce the name of the play because it's a Spanish play.
Well, you managed to you got by with Madrid.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So yeah, Last of Us is what affected the Mandalorian film and not Andor.
Yes, yeah.
There we go. I need to check that out. I have got them lined up to watch on my player, but I haven't actually checked any of it out yet, so I'll have to do that.
Yeah.
Talking of the Mandalorian, that is our next news item because we're less than 30 days away from the premiere. It starts March 1st. Got some new artwork of the Mandalorian and Grogu. He's sitting there being his annoying little self. And we also got a little featurette came out as well, which harks back to right at the beginning, back to Celebration. I was there. I was in the room.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. That
So
was when we first saw the first footage of the original Mandalorian season 1, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep. I met John Favreau at that celebration as well because he came into the hall during setup early one morning.
Yeah. I met Dave Filoni at Celebration 2016 in London. Got a chance to ask him a question at the Clones panel. That was cool. Clone Wars panel.
Should I tell my Dave Filoni story? I met him at Rancho Obi-Wan and a fundraising event at Rancho Obi-Wan. And whatever happened, I got left, just me and him, just standing there. And he's asked me this, like I think, was it Rebels? I think it was probably Clone Wars that was out at the time. He asked me if I'd been watching the latest series. And I had to confess, because there was no point lying, that I don't watch any of the animation stuff. And it just left an awkward silence. That's my Dave Filoni story.
You can be too honest, you know.
Yeah. Uh,
Actually, it was Rebels that we were talking about when I saw him. Yeah.
Jack making a point there. People are going to be confused as to how Mando and Grogu are back together if they haven't seen Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
That's a very real problem that they're going to have to address somehow. And I wonder if you're going to get like a opening segment that basically recounts Mando's appearance in the Book of Boba Fett right at the beginning, like a montage kind of thing.
I think, yeah, I think you're bound to. But for anybody that hasn't seen it, all you really need to watch is, I think it was episodes 5 and 6 of
Yeah,
Boba Fett, which were basically 2 episodes of The Mandalorian, um, which I think was used as a natural break in the Book of Boba Fett so that he could do his training with the Rancor.
yeah,
But yeah, it looks great, doesn't it?
it does. I'm interested to see where the plot goes because it kind of feels like they need to build, not towards a finale, but let's just say it's going to run for 5 series, you kind of now need to get serious as to what's the central plot of the whole thing.
Yeah.
To find the big bad, really focus around the story of it, and because certainly the first series it felt like they were just kind of exploring and dipping their toes in the water. Season 2, as it got towards a conclusion, seemed to get more of a flow into a consistent storyline. I'm kind of expecting a very steady central plot throughout the whole of season 3 now.
Season 2 felt like we got closure, didn't it? And it was
Yeah,
only really those 2 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett that dragged Grogu and the Mandalorian back together, which I suppose has given it a pathway for Mandalorian season 3.
yeah.
Um,
They also
yeah,
spoke
it's gonna be good.
previously as well about, there was going to be a number of spin-offs, and one of them was going to be the Cara Dune one that obviously has gone away. Ahsoka was going to be part of that. Basically, let's just call it the Mandoverse. There was going to be a
Yeah,
few shows and they were going to come together and collide. I think Skeleton Crew effectively is now filling a void there. And
yeah,
the plots would come together into one big kind of epic storyline. So I kind of feel that Mando season 3 has to build a little bit towards that, because then we're going to
yeah,
get Ahsoka and we're going to get Skeleton Crew that are going to add to that, I would think, before Mando season 4 comes back to probably provide the punch to that storyline.
yeah. I mean, you're right. The Mandoverse, as well as the Mandalorian, and any potential further adventures of Boba Fett, are all set in the time frame. Set in the same time frame, as is the Ahsoka series that's coming up. And the Ahsoka series looks to be featuring all of the crew of the Ghost, all of the Rebels.
Yep.
So that could then spin off into Rebels live action as a TV series. But yeah, that's been the clever thing that they've done with Mando, is they've sort of dipped their toe in the water. They brought us back Boba Fett. They brought us back Ahsoka, and then they've set them up for their own series. And yeah, it will be great to see them do that with some other characters. Who else would you like to see come back?
Well, Jack throws the name out there, Thrawn. Um,
Yeah,
Makes sense in
yeah.
there.
Well, Thrawn's definitely going to turn up.
I actually think Bo-Katan is maybe deserving of her own series, depending on how
Yeah,
they handle that character in season 3.
yeah, yeah. No, that would be good.
But I don't want too many spin-offs of The Mandalorian, because I don't want one plot to sort of dominate Star Wars TV. Because
But I
I
think,
wasn't a huge fan of Obi-Wan, but it was decent. I've been a big fan of Andor, and
yeah.
sometimes it's nice just to take a character and focus in on that one character and run like a limited run series,
Now,
rather than
I liked Obi-Wan, but I think it's suffered from overuse of the volume, where they used that great big tube that they put them in to simulate outdoors. It felt very stagecraft rather than the natural environments that we got with Andor.
yeah.
I think production value wise, it suffered with that. That
I'd like
said, it was great that they had
if
him
you're
back.
going to pick anything, I think the most obvious character, which I think is ideal for TV, is like a Darth Maul series built around Crimson Reign,
Yeah,
or and possibly connected that as like a Hut-based series and like a Hut crime drama,
Yeah,
Star Wars meets The Sopranos kind of thing.
that would be amazing. I've got a feeling if ever they get round to do anything with Solo, then that's exactly the sort of thing we'll get.
Yeah,
That
Jack's saying there, Phasma's a good shout because she's never been handled well as a character.
yeah.
Plo Koon, or Nick Knuckhead, as she called him, Kiadu Monday, um,
Yeah, yeah.
Marcus there, liked Obi-Wan, just about starting to watch Andor. You're going to love Andor, it is brilliant.
Yeah.
Memphis Nest is a good shout. I thought the actress did tremendously in Willow. I loved Willow. Sadly, I don't think Willow's going to get a season 2 because I don't think it caught the imagination of enough people.
Did you really like Willow?
I love Willow. Not saying the
Did
acting
you?
from all of them was good, but but
I've only seen the first 2 episodes. I will watch the rest of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is cheesy Saturday afternoon family fun.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
interesting because
I really dug Willow. I thought the performances were really good from some of the actors.
yeah,
I thought the scripts were brilliant. And for the budget that it got, I thought it did really well in terms of the landscapes and
yeah.
the places it visited as well.
But do you remember a long time ago when we were doing this show, Brian? It was one where we were talking about the Willow series was coming out. There was the Game of Thrones spin-off that was coming out,
Yeah,
and
House of
then there was
Dragon,
and then there was another one as well. The Lord of
Amazon,
the Rings
Lord of the
spin-off.
Rings, Rings of Power.
Yeah, and none of them have particularly fared that well, have they?
Well, I enjoyed all three.
Well, you're a
House of the
wizard, Brian.
Dragon, I
You're a
get
wizard.
I get why some people didn't overly enjoy the House of the Dragon because it was a very complicated plot. But
Yeah,
I read the book, so I kind of understood it probably better than other people. I think people were kind of confused because they were doing so many time jumps and thus
yeah,
replacing some of the actors, but not all of the actors because of those time jumps and because of the differences in ages. I kind of really dug it. But I've been like the whole Song of Ice and Fire has been like a huge part of my reading going back long before Game of Thrones was even considered for TV. So
yeah.
I kind of loved that. And I thought the Rings of Power Amazon series got a lot of stick, but I didn't think it deserved it. It seemed to be there's this arrogance I think about around Tolkien, that the whole Tolkien fan base don't want anyone to do anything with it other than
Yeah.
just have the books exist. Nobody can do anything original based around it and it potentially even live up to anything that Tolkien did himself. But people criticise it because of the budget, but I'm not thinking about the numbers when I'm watching a TV program, and I thought
No,
it did quite well. I'll not spoil it, but one of the episodes I thought was just amazing. What they did on screen,
yeah.
based around water. But I won't spoil it beyond that.
Spoiler alert,
But yeah,
there's war involved.
I thought all three of them did well in terms of fantasy programs.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I'll probably give them all a go at some point.
yeah,
Yeah.
but definitely none of them are must watch this week. Fair. But definitely once you start watching it, I think you'll watch them start to finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Jack's making the comment there, and £1 billion spent. This is Amazon expected more.
Yeah.
That's a comment it's always going to get. It's like they should
Yeah.
never have disclosed what they paid or were putting into the program. But
Exactly.
a lot of that money is going to be spread across the numerous series of it as well. Everyone's saying Andor blew them away compared to those other shows.
It was incredible. I forget who said that they haven't watched it yet, but when they do start watching it, just be patient with it because it's the closest thing you'll get to a book, if that makes sense. In other words, it drills down into every little bit of it. There's no, everything is on the screen, every pause, every moment. So it can feel a bit pedestrian in places, particularly some of the earlier episodes. The prison, spoiler alert, no. Let's just say later on there's some good sections in it.
You've ruined it, Paul. You've ruined it. I think we should move swiftly on to the last news item of the week.
Yeah.
um, which is Vision Season 2, which is going to land on May the 4th. The Disney cashes in on the Star Wars brand day. And I've got so much issues around May the 4th. It's so it's so
It's not
wasted.
Star Wars Day.
It's so wasted, and it's all just about cash now. So I hate when
Yeah.
things drop on May the 4th. I think anything with any credibility should avoid that date. But anyway, regardless, Volume 2 of Star Wars Visions is coming. It's kind of moving a little bit away from the sort of manga ideas of Season 1, and it's going to be a whole lot of different things, different flavours from animation studios all around the world, from Spain, Ireland, Chile, Aardman in the UK. So you're going to get like a Wallace and Gromit type character with waggly fingers.
I hope that is. I hope that is the case. Wouldn't that be absolutely
It would
fantastic?
be.
A claymation Star Wars, brilliant.
South Korea, France, India, Japan, South Africa, the US.
Hey, Bright. Maybe we'll get Grand Morph Tarkin.
You could do.
R. Did you
Anakin Crespin there just saying that he's excited for Visions. He's watched each episode of the first volume dozens of times. And I think that's the great thing about Visions is that there's going to be something for everyone in there.
I mean, you're not an animation fan, Brian. I take it you've not seen Visions.
I've seen bits and pieces, but they did like a Visions comic, so I picked that up.
Oh, okay. I love the first
I know nothing
episode.
about anime.
Yeah.
And when I go to a convention that's not a Star Wars convention, you walk around and you see all these people in amazing cosplays. I've got no idea who they are. But it shows you how far out of touch I am with the real world.
I'm the same. I do wonder, there's people walking around with that free hug sign and different things and wearing things that you wouldn't let your daughter out in. But what I did like about Visions, I loved the first episode, which was incredible. It felt like somebody had filmed it and then traced over it. It was brilliant. The second episode, which had got Boba Fett in it, it was all very sort of cutely sort of animated, but it was brilliant. Some of the other episodes were a little bit out there for me, for my taste, but I could appreciate it for what it was. But yeah, this second season actually, I'm keen to see that now that I realise that there's all sorts of different styles going to be involved. It'll benefit from that.
Studio Ghibli weren't amongst them after they kind of released the sort of Grogu sort of teaser short. And I kind of expected them to be involved in it, so that came as a bit of a surprise. But Lucasfilm did say at Celebration last year that they've got a very exciting slate of work coming in anime featuring around Star Wars and animation in general. So it's very likely there's a lot more coming other than just Star Wars Visions, and it could well be that Studio Ghibli are doing their own Star Wars thing. You never know.
What if, and here's a big what if, what if they redid the original trilogy in manga animation? In anime style.
I do believe I heard a rumour that Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni did sort of a tour of many of the Asian-based animation studios November time last year. So you never know what could be on the horizon.
I've seen the manga comic strips. I believe it's manga if it's comic strips, anime if it's cartoons.
Yeah.
But yeah, the to see that in anime would be something else. I'd be up for that. Yeah. Interesting times.
Interesting times. So that is coming up in the future. We'll maybe learn more in the coming weeks. And obviously we'll be reporting it here on Good Morning Tatooine. And certainly I expect to see a lot more Star Wars Celebration promoting this. With it debuting May 4th, it's going to be here quicker than I think we maybe expected.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Before we go, Paul, chance for you to plug Start Your Engines.
So, Start Your Engines is a podcast that I'm involved in with Mark Newbold. We've just recorded 2 episodes, a full episode which is based on Boba Fett's starship.
Yep.
Slave One, everyone, it's Slave One. And then we've also recorded for the up-and-coming podcast day. So it's the 24th anniversary, I believe. I think it started in 1999. There's a podcast day, and Start Your Engines is part of that. And we've done a mini episode based on the Return of the Jedi speeder bike. So listen out for both of those. And as Brian said, we will be appearing live on the podcast stage at Celebration. So that'll be exciting. And Brian, if you do get stuck for somebody to do Good Morning Tatooine with you, the offer's always there.
Yeah.
But,
There's going to be a Good Morning Tatooine at Star Wars Celebration. I had 3 guests, and one has pulled out. So you never know, Paul. It could be in there.
There you go. On the subs bench, on the Ollie. Oh, forget it. Ollie Sologunashire, whatever his name is, of Panther. There you go.
Yeah. So go on your podcast of choice, look for Phantom Tracks Radio, and you will find all our podcasts there. Jack's asking if he follows the podcast, can you agree on a flavour of knick-knack for Kiadi Monday?
It's definitely Scampi and Lemon. Gotta be.
Scampi and Lemon. Okay.
Yeah.
Controversial choice, that. Like.
All right, nice and spicy. Nice
and spicy. That's more like it, I think. Nice and spicy. On that note, I think that's time to wrap up the show, Paul. Thank you for joining me. Anakin asking there just before we go, will we post our panel after Celebration? I'm hoping to record all the Fantha panels that we do at Celebration. There's going to be multiple ones.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll all go up on our YouTube at some point. I don't think any of them will be able to broadcast live, because I don't think the Excel Centre will have internet that could cope with live streaming, I'm afraid. But we'll definitely go up after the show.
I look forward to it.
Happen. Right, yeah, Paul, this time we'll go. So we'll say good night. So it's good night from me.
Good night. Good night.
It's good night from you. Thanks everyone for your comments, and we'll be back next week for more Star Wars news.
All the best.
Keep up to date with the latest Star Wars news each and every day on FanthaTracks.com. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr, and Pinterest at Fantha Tracks. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow Fantha Tracks TV to be alerted to new content and to be a part of our live shows.